All right, guys, this is pretty much just like an open talk about gear and how it's changed dramatically in the past, 10 years. When I say gear, I mean anything performance enhancing for bodybuilding, fitness, or to just get in shape. The main problem I see today is fake gear and underdosed gear, okay? Those are the two main problems I see today. When people hire me to coach them, I always ask them, I'm like, do you have a source to get stuff from? Oh, yeah, man, my guy gets everything. It's great. A chemist makes it, blah, 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 blah. Like, first of all, guys, chemists are not making your gear. Some guy that probably didn't even graduate your high school or high school is making gear at their house in their kitchen, which is a very, very highly punishable offense in prison. Okay, it's called manufacturing. Okay, and what they do, they order powders, like big, just plastic things of powders that they trust are supposed to be a certain compound, and then they get carrier oil, alcohol, and cook it up all together, and that's what you're putting in your body. Something that's coming from someone's kitchen, someone's bathroom, not in a sterile lab at all. We would used to get stuff from, at that time, Mexico used to have like all the legit clinics still, so we would get stuff from there. When Operation Gear Grinder came and shut down all the production in Mexico, then we started getting from the Middle East, because in the Middle East gear's legal, so people can just walk into the pharmacy, and if you know people there, well, you better know somebody there. If you're trying to compete at a higher level, you get it shipped to you. The amounts people take these days are just astronomical. Like, when I was competing and I was like, man, should I go from like 4 IUs to 6 IUs of GH, or should I go from like this to this? It is insane the amounts people are using today. And they're just using so much different stuff. And what's really bad and what's really hurt people is SARMs. When SARMs came into the scene, physiques did not get better at all. They got worse. Prohormones, came back again. The SARMs, all these different like research, chemical stuff. Like, you don't know what it is you're putting in your body, and everybody I see doing it doesn't really look good at all. The SARMs does everything gear does. It's going to shut you down, shut your natural production down, hair loss, libido, mess your libido up, and then you're going to have to be on a hormone replacement just like gear. So I don't know where people have got this idea that SARMs are better than, and safer than gear, and then gear to take. That's just, just insane. And everybody just doesn't understand. Like, let's say myself right now, I use everything from a clinic. So my doctor prescribes my testosterone. I'll do probably Anavar a couple times a year. I could get Deca if I want, but I just don't like how I feel on Deca. And I use my product, Seramax, and that's it. And people don't understand how I'm able to still stay 260, 270, except a lot of my friends from back in the day, because they took such little stuff. Now people start taking stuff, and they start with so much at first. They're like, I just want to get big so fast. They're not patient at all. I remember my first 2 shows, I was natural. After that, well, it's in my book. My book's out now. It just came out a few days ago. It's called Geared Up. You can get it on Amazon, Kindle, and it will be on my website. Just Google my name in Amazon and it comes up. If you Google Geared Up, it doesn't come up for some reason, but it will, like, eventually. And people just, will just put anything in their body. They don't even know where it comes from. And, people are getting horrible infections all the time. They're getting sick. Someone will call me. They're like, hey, is this normal? I've got a baseball-sized, cyst. I'm like, no, go to the hospital right away and get that drained. And people are it's just insane today. And I just I've talked about this before, but guys, you got to think. And a big reason there's guys still, people think like me, they think I work my butt off to stay the size I am today. I eat 3 meals a day. I go to the gym 3 times a week, sometimes 2. Maybe if I'm lucky, once in a while, sometimes 4. That's just because I'm so busy with work and my children. Eventually, I'd like to go back up about 4 days a week because when I was competing, I was about doing 5, pushing it, and I would do 6. When you build up all that muscle over all those years, and you keep working out, it's just you're going to downsize when you stop doing bodybuilding cycles, obviously, and it's going to depend on your genetics a lot too. Genetically, I gained muscle easily when I first started, and I built a good base before I put any junk in my body, junk, hormones, whatever you want to call it. What guys are doing now, they're putting stuff in their body before they're even really hitting the gym. It looks like they're not even going to the gym. They're just taking. People want to know is, what do I take? I want to get in shape. What do I take? I want to get leaner. What do I take? I'm going on a trip in a couple weeks. What do I take? Freaking diet. What do you mean? What do you take? You diet to go on a trip to get leaner. They just want to know what to take. And that's why these people cannot get big or gain muscle. And like I said today, my weight stays between 260 and 270. Do I try to be that heavy? No. Do I think it's good to be that heavy still? Probably not, since I'm, almost 40. I should be around, but I'm lean, I'm muscular, I don't have like any fat on me, so that's my weight. And they find it so hard to believe. And my other friends, like my friend Stephen Fraser that I still prep, he competes at Masters Pro. He takes minimal stuff, and he's huge. We get him up to like 315 in the off season, and then he competes around like 275. And people would not believe the little amount of stuff he actually takes to hold that. When you train for that many years and eat and eat and eat and don't miss meals, your body builds up this muscle that's just not going to disappear. And some people say, well, look at this pro. He lost everything. Yes, because he tried to. He wanted to burn the muscle off. Maybe his health wasn't good. And his doctor's like, listen, you can't be 250 anymore. We need to get your weight down so your heart's functioning better. And I'll tell you something. The weight I'm at now, just the size, I still am not that mobile. Like, I have trouble putting my shoes on sometimes. A shirt or it's not easy. When I was lighter, the only time I get lighter is when I get like deathly ill. Like when I was in the hospital in 2020 for like over a month, and I was at home with a PICC line for like 4 months. I got down to like 225, and I felt like a lot more like I could move better. But if I go to the gym, but you gotta, it's kind of tugs both ways, because I still love bodybuilding and muscle, but I don't want to be this massive bodybuilder anymore, because I don't live that way. If I decided one day, oh man, I want to get back into bodybuilding, start cycling again, eating again, it would be crazy what I could do with my physique. But why would I put my health through that at 40? And you got to understand, what you take at like 20, you can't take the same things at like 40. You would have to add blood pressure medicine to it, take a lot lower dosages. Things change. And a lot of these kids today, y'all are taking so much stuff to start out with. And it's actually going to make you smaller in the long run, because it's just like alcohol. Say you drink 2 beers on the weekends and that gets you buzzed or drunk. Then it's going to take 3 beers and 4 beers and 5 beers. That's why people can drink, 20 beers and still be just okay, because you have a tolerance. It's just like gear. And people don't come off gear like people used to. We legit used to come off 3 months at a time. And people are like, oh, I'm so depressed now. I can't even work out. I'm so unmotivated. We didn't feel like that. It was a mindset. Yes, our testosterone levels would get lower, but it was not like something that we just cried about. Now, today, people are such babies. Get in the gym, train, eat your meals. Stop thinking about, what do I just take all the time? If you're competing, yes, all my competitive clients, I write everything out for them. They don't even have to think. They do exactly what I say, and they go and win. But it's just getting out of control, because the more stuff you take when you're younger, the more and more and more and more stuff you're going to have to take as you get older. And as you get older too, your body is not as responsive. So what happens? You're going to either, turn into a big, overweight guy, or you're just going to lose all your muscle, guys. Be smart, stay healthy, be careful what you put in your body. Stop injecting all this junk or putting these droppers. You don't even know where they're really coming from, guys. And if someone says it's third-party tested, just research that, see what that means.